Hi, Julie Deane with Culinary Works, and I want to take this opportunity to kind of answer a couple questions and to kind of give you guys a little bit more insight into me and what Culinary Works is all about.
All right, let's start right out of the gate with why are you so passionate about cooking?
Okay, that's a great question. Well, internally, I'm a very creative person, so food is a way for me to express my creativity and, kind of feed my family, feed my friends. I'm also very passionate about nutrition and health. So I feel like, I want to eat healthy. I want to eat nutritious food. I want to feed my family nutritious food. So in order to do that, I have to cook. So, that's kind of, you're combining the passion there. And then, also with the business side of it is kind of, it was really a way for me to, Culinary Works was a way for me to, bring this nutrition and this food and this creativity to a business where I feel like I can inspire people and teach them how to cook and, really kind of show them the tools and break it down so that they realize it's not that complicated, right? So, I can, kind of take the creative side, kind of create a fun tone in the business and, teach people how to cook without making it super complicated. But at the same time, the events have this great energy that you just kind of feel, and everybody's together and we're all bonding together and we're creating a level playing field so that, somebody in the office who's normally very quiet, you can see all of a sudden they've got these awesome knife skills or that they're really good cook, and it's like, wow, it just kind of changes the dynamic of a group. Food is such a communal experience. So I feel like, it's kind of a lot of creativity with it, and that's why I'm passionate about food and cooking.
Julia, what inspired you to start Culinary Works?
Well, with the fact that I got married very young in my life, and we always entertained a lot in our house because we were somebody that had, a house for all our friends to gather. And, so by cooking all the time and entertaining people, and then along with my sales background, because I've always been in sales, like all the jobs that I've had, I realized that, I'm comfortable enough in front of people to really explain to them how to cook. So I think really kind of the sales background, and then, really combining my entrepreneurial spirit, I thought, okay, I can make a business out of this. So the fact that I like to cook, I can sell it to people, I can inspire them, and then I think that's kind of what did it.
As a mother of three, how did you find time to balance between being a mother and starting a business?
That's certainly not easy, and all the moms these days, and caregivers kind of go through that, and I think it's just a matter of like prioritizing, and finding, even if it's a half hour, I feel like you can still get, a good meal on the table that's simple but yet nutritious and wholesome for your family.
Did your children play a role in you starting your business?
Well, ironically, I have 3 kids, but my twins are now 21. But when I started it, they were 3 years old, so they were just starting preschool. And as far as the role that they played, I think, obviously I experimented a lot on them with, different foods and what they would eat and, trying to get them to eat more, nutritionally sound, for sure. But then also more importantly, I just started to really teach them the skills, teach them about, cooking and seasoning and chopping and, kind of to navigate themselves through the kitchen, with more confidence.
Does your family share a similar passion?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, really what's so nice for me is that I think they, understand my passion, to kind of feed and kind of be with people through food. And I think they've really started to appreciate that as well. So, during our family meals around the dinner table, or, when we're entertaining and have people around. So I think, kind of that process is, they certainly have gotten a passion for, as well as cooking, for sure. Yes, they definitely, appreciate that.
And do they play a role in Culinary Works?
Yes, absolutely. My daughters especially, certainly all 3 of them, they've all helped through the business. A lot of the times, I will say it's been dishwashing, but that's okay because dishes still have to get clean. My daughter, is fully capable of really running her own class and teaching people as well.
So tell us how Culinary Works differentiates itself from other cooking schools.
I think one thing that's very unique about Culinary Works is our setting. It's in my husband's showroom, Kitchens by Deane, or Deane Inc. And so with the setting there, it's multiple vignettes of lots of different beautiful custom kitchens. And so when you come in there, you already feel like you're in a home. So the tone is already kind of relaxed and communal and, just kind of, and also absolutely beautiful. Everybody comes in, and it's like, okay, like, wow, I found my next kitchen. And I think it's the experience. I think it's a very relaxed social setting. It's like a cocktail party, but at the same time, we're running a business and people are learning and, also really having a lot of really yummy food. So they walk away with great food and having a great experience at the same time while learning something.
And why do you feel you've had so much success?
Well, I think that's kind of a good question because you're kind of tying both of those together. I feel like because the reason why I've had success is because that experience that people get while they're at Culinary Works is inspirational to begin with, and I really focus on making sure that people have a couple takeaways after the event. So when you go to hear a speaker, you want to know that you're going to walk away with 2 or 3 items that will resonate with you, in time that you can remember. So it's really important for me. So I really continue to hone in on certain points and certain attributes of the night so that people have those takeaways and, so that they can remember. So I think that really is one thing that, really helps during the events.
And share with us what types of cooking classes you offer.
Sure. So you can read more about it on the website, absolutely, under offerings. But, in general, probably the biggest part of Culinary Works is the corporate. So the corporate team building, the corporate entertaining, the seasonal classes, which are open to the public, and then, they're theme-based. And then also private parties. So where that's like, a group of moms coming in or couples coming in to celebrate a special occasion, or just to come in to cook, together, as opposed to going to a restaurant, because, the experience is so much more dynamic and, you're engaged, you're cooking, you're smelling, you're tasting, you're having a glass of wine or two, you're having some really good food. And my job is to make sure that, at the same time, you're like, wow, okay, like I can do this. Like, I think that's really not as hard as I thought. Or, I'm working with them on focusing on the knife skill so that they're learning, how to properly chop an onion, and garlic, or how to pan-sear a steak, or why it's important, for proper seasoning. So there's all those kind of little tidbits that people learn in my events that, they also comment to me on, when I see them, like, oh my gosh, like I learned how to make, this great, chicken dish, and now it's one of my family favorites. So that to me is one of the best compliments that I can get from people when, I get the feedback, or, somebody will stop me at a grocery store or, down the street, and, it's really nice. So it makes me feel good and makes me realize, why I do my business or why I run Culinary Works.
Julia, do you cook every night?
What's so funny? I get that question every class I have. Everyone says, they're in the middle of a class, like, do you cook every night? It's like kind of almost like a desperation type of question. And, I don't cook every night, but I cook a lot. And I think a lot of times what I'll try and do is like cook big, and then so that there'll be extra of something, for the next night or two. Like, for example, like I'll make some kind of chicken. Like last night we had, boneless chicken thighs and chicken tenders, and then I seasoned them really well with lots of garlic and then just regular dried oregano and some lemon zest. So there's going to be extra chicken. So then maybe later we'll put that into a salad. Or, a lot of times what I'll do is definitely there'll always be a starch because I have growing boys and a husband who, definitely likes, meat, potato, and a vegetable. But I do try to do like double veg. So we'll try and have a salad and a vegetable. Or like last night, for example, we had, like the crunchy green beans or like the scorched green beans along with, a salad. So I definitely try to, crowd in a lot of extra vegetables. And then some kind of also fish. Like I definitely love to cook salmon. My youngest is getting better with this fish. So that's kind of a little bit of an example, but I do try to cook like big so that I could use it again in some way. But I definitely cook a lot. I don't really like to cook on the weekends. I'm not a big Friday, Saturday night, person. Like Friday night, though, if we are home and cooking, I would say that's probably a Taco Friday, which I definitely love that. For sure. Tacos, I would say, was definitely like a fun family favorite for sure.
When you're not cooking, what does your family eat?
Well, I'm not a huge fan of takeout, so we don't really do a lot of takeout. Maybe once in a while, a little bit of takeout sushi or something, but not a huge fan of takeout. But otherwise, sometimes it's like opening up the fridge. Like, okay, what's in the fridge? We can make something based off what's in the fridge and, kind of supplementing with the pantry. And then if that's really not going to work, like if it's a Friday or Saturday, or sometimes during the week if I'm not working, then, we might go out occasionally. And, because also I really like to obviously have other chefs' cuisine and, food to, get inspired myself and, kind of like think about other ways of how I can make something similar or just, get ideas.
Let's talk about yourself.
Okay.
How do you stay fit?
So I definitely exercise. I feel like I've exercised like pretty much most of my life. I mean, from being an athlete, as a youth, just to continuing, a regular fitness routine. That doesn't mean that like every day I'm like at the gym sweating, for an hour. One of the days could be like, I'm going for a really long walk with my dog and not always running, but, going up hills and, kind of just really enjoying a nice walk. Or yes, I definitely do a lot of like HIIT classes. So, high intensity training where you are sweating, combining with lifting weights, combining with, burpees and squats and, kind of all that stuff. And I do really like yoga. I've gone up and down with yoga where I've done yoga for like a long time, then I've kind of taken a break, then I've kind of gotten back into yoga. So the foundation is totally there with yoga. It's just a matter of, kind of, what I'm doing at the time. So
what other hobbies are you interested in?
So, I mean, I feel like I love gardening. I love flowers, and, I have a big perennial garden at my house. So if some of you know me, you've probably seen it through pictures and stuff. And I love to, kind of take flowers and put them inside my house and kind of bring nature in. In my house at home, I have a lot of plants, so house plants. So, I take really good care of them. But other hobbies, one day I would really like to paint. I mean, I used to paint. I took a painting class a while ago, and I really like that. I haven't done it in a long, long time, but that's something that I'd like to aspire to at some point. So I do like painting. But really also just, kind of being outside. I mean, I definitely appreciate the fresh air, spending a lot of time with my dog, Dewey, and, taking him, on walks, any time of the year is, really good for the soul as well. So I like that.
What's your favorite family activity or activity with your husband?
So family activities, for sure, like, of course, if we're watching one of our kids, perform in one of their, sporting events, that's definitely a big deal. Like we, really support our kids in that way and love to do it. Definitely like skiing, hiking, camping, all those things, we grew up doing with our family and I absolutely love it. Or even honestly, just like sitting in the table, whether we're having friends with us, which is always a lot of fun. I absolutely love entertaining at home. But just sitting around a table and talking about the day, the highs and lows and, just having a normal everyday conversation. I mean, that's something that, warms my heart for sure. And then as far as with my husband, I love to just, go out with my husband on a Friday night, him and I, and just to go out like to one of our local bars and just, sit and catch up and have a drink or two and have some really good food and, kind of socialize with the people around us and, see who's going to show up and, talk to people and, just be social. But I'd like to just, be out in our local communities, with family and friends.
Well, that's a good transition. Cocktail, wine, or beer?
So, not beer, but I do like a cold Modelo, but I don't really drink a lot of beer. Cocktail for sure. I love the cucumber, the prairie, triple distilled cucumber vodka with a club soda and a lime, not to get so specific. I love a good margarita. Wine for sure. I do like wine as well. I don't drink a ton of wine, but I definitely, really do enjoy like a good glass of red, a cold crisp, champagne, or a really nice, like not sweet white. The Scout and Cellar is on my website, which I do sell, which is amazing, clean crafted wine. So check that out. But if I'm going to drink wine, I definitely do like the Scout and Cellar. So.
Guilty food pleasure?
Ooh, potato chips. Yep. I do like potato chips, a good, yummy, like healthy potato chip. Not like Lay's, I mean, they're fine, but like a healthier kind of potato chip, if there is such a thing. I would say potato chips. Not French fries, potato chips, different. The crunch and the salt. I'm salty, not sweet. As far as like if you were to say like, are you sugar? Do you crave a lot of sugar, or do you eat a lot of sugar? I mean, I really, really try to, back to kind of the fitness thing, I really try not to eat a lot of sugar. So that's sugar. I always tell my kids, sugar is the enemy. It's really not good for you. So I try not to eat a lot of sugar.
Favorite radio stations?
So in my car, I mean, I love music. I mean, that's one thing we definitely, I should say, back to hobbies, like, definitely going to concerts and live music for sure. Like, I love that energy, the vibration, I just absolutely love it. So I would say, like, in my car, like, everything from, like, Classic Rewind to, the Highway to the Pulse to, what else is there? What are some other stations? So I'm going to think. Oh, the Blend I have in there. I have the Pop 2K. I have Margaritaville. Oh, yeah, so those are kind of some of the
big
typical
variety.
ones. Yeah, good variety. Oh, The Dead, I have that one on there too. Yeah, good variety. I mean, I really love music for sure.
So how do you take your coffee in the morning?
My coffee, yeah. I definitely like flavored coffee. I don't always have it, but I like a flavored coffee, like hazelnut or something else. And I do put a little soy creamer in my coffee. And that's my kind of like sugar, like, that sugar kind of in the morning when I just want a teeny bit of sugar. Kind of the soy creamer has that in my, like, I even travel with it. My husband kind of teases me, like, she's traveling with her creamer, like, meaning if I was going away somewhere, yeah, I do kind of bring it with me. So yeah, that's how I take my coffee. I mean, I'll do a latte or something, but in general, like, I just like a good, like, regular coffee.
Share with us one of your favorite dishes.
Okay, so like something I really like is I love a really good piece of like seared fish with mashed potatoes, and then like some kind of like vinaigrette or something to add to that kind of like indulgence with the fish. And then with some greens, like sauteed greens, like whether it's Swiss chard or spinach or something like that. I like that combination. But I also know another, kind of more indulgent is I do like pasta. I don't cook a lot of pasta, but I mean, I do like a really like a creamy pasta, like asparagus and like some creamy pasta with like a little glass of red wine. Yeah, yummy, love that. So,
as you look forward, what is the future of Culinary Works?
So it's a really good question, and I'm glad that you asked that question because for the past 9 months, which I don't even think I've told many people, I've been studying to be a health coach through this really awesome program in New York City, and it is called the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. So I'm working on being a health coach, and I feel like it's kind of a natural transition for me because it's something I've always been, very passionate about in general is, kind of maintaining a good state of health. So I'm really super excited about it. And if you were to say, like, how would you describe, what a health coach is? I mean, I think health coaching is really a targeted approach that, you're going to start a lot of dialogue with this one particular client, and then you kind of get to know each other through a series of questions. And then you're really kind of finding out, like, through their bio-individuality is, like, what are their strengths right now? Like, what's working really well for them? But then more importantly, also, like, find out, like, what are your weaknesses? Where are some areas that you need to, improve your health? Maybe it could be something where it's like, you're drinking too much Diet Coke, or, you really don't know how to, make a family meal for your family, or you really eat too much processed foods, or, there's too much sugar in your house, or you just need kind of, a revamping of, your pantry. So, really to learn more, you can certainly pop over to the health coaching tab on my website. But, like I said, I'm like 3/4 of the way through the program. I'm almost graduating, so I'm really excited about it. And I feel like it's something that, it's just innate for me. And I feel like I have that passion that I could share with somebody, on a more kind of intimate level. So it's more of like an inspirational experience that I want to give the client.